You achieved something. Maybe it was small, like finishing a workout you almost skipped. Or maybe it was significant, like completing a huge project at work. You finished something you said you would. You made progress. You moved forward. And for a moment, you expected to feel something: pride, relief, joy. But instead, nothing happened. No real satisfaction. No sense of completion. No feeling of this matters. Just a quiet, persistent thought whispering, "What's next?" That feeling, or rather that lack of feeling, is subtle. It's easy to ignore, but it's incredibly important. It's a quiet alarm bell telling you something isn't registering. Your effort, your progress, your achievement, it's like it happened in a vacuum. You're moving, but you don't feel like you're getting anywhere. This strange absence of feeling is the first clue that our relationship with achievement is broken. We're completing the race, but we're skipping the finish line celebration every single time. And over time, that makes you wonder why you're even running at all. There used to be a pause, a natural, built-in moment where something ended. Think about finishing a book before the internet. You'd close the cover, sit back, and let the story settle. Or after passing a final exam, you had the entire summer ahead of you. A vast space of time for that feeling of accomplishment to sink in. You felt it. Completion. A real, tangible sense of an ending, which in turn gave meaning to the effort. But now, that moment is shorter. Much shorter. Sometimes it doesn't exist at all. Because before your brain can process what you've done, something else appears on your screen. In your inbox, in your mind. Another goal. Another standard. Another person's highlight reel showing you a different version of better. You finish a project, and before you've even closed the file, an email dings. You reach a fitness goal, and your social media feed immediately shows you someone who's gone further. So instead of closing one chapter and allowing yourself the mental space to appreciate it, you're forced to open another immediately. And that constant, relentless opening prevents any sense of closure. It's like trying to fill a bucket that has a hole in the bottom. You keep pouring in more achievements, more effort, but you never feel full. The feeling of satisfaction never accumulates. Your brain is being trained to live in a state of perpetual beginning, constantly chasing the next thing without ever acknowledging what's already been done. This isn't just a personal failing. It's a systemic feature of our modern, hyper-connected world. We've optimized for productivity, for what's next, but we've completely forgotten how to process what's now. And in doing so, we've lost the very reward that makes the effort feel worthwhile. The Roman philosopher Seneca once wrote a line that perfectly captures this modern dilemma. He who is everywhere is nowhere. Think about that for a second. When your attention is spread thinly across a dozen different browser tabs, a handful of social media feeds, an endless to-do list, nothing fully lands. Your focus is so fragmented that no single piece of information or experience can make a deep impression. You're present in all these places, but you're truly experiencing none of them. Now, let's apply that powerful idea to our sense of achievement. If your focus immediately jumps to the next goal, the next comparison, the next thing you should be doing, then your current progress never has a chance to settle. It never becomes a part of your story. You did the work, you earned the result, but you don't feel it. Not because the achievement isn't real or meaningful, but because you didn't stay present with it long enough. You were already gone, mentally halfway to the next mountain before you enjoyed the view. This constant forward-looking robs the present moment of its power. We treat our accomplishments like stepping stones we have to quickly hop over, rather than destinations to be savored. And when we live like that, we end up feeling like we're always on a journey, but never arriving anywhere. We are everywhere, chasing everything, and therefore, we feel our own success nowhere. If this idea of doing things but not feeling them sounds familiar, if you're feeling that disconnect, I invite you to follow our channel. This isn't about hustling harder or learning productivity hacks. It's about taking a step back and understanding the deeper reasons why nothing ever feels like enough, even when you're doing all the right things. Let's figure this out together. In the past, when you achieved something, your primary reference point was yourself. You could look back at where you were a month ago, a year ago, and see clear progress. But today, we live with a constant, endless comparison layer. The moment you accomplish something, you don't just see your own result in isolation. Your phone, your computer, your entire digital life immediately shows you everyone else's. And not just anyone, you see the highlights. Bigger results, faster timelines, more polished outcomes. A curated feed of exceptionalism. So what happens? Your brain, which is wired to assess your standing, your personal victory, which should feel like significant progress, suddenly gets reframed and downgraded. It gets reduced to average, or even below average, when placed next to the top 1% you see online. And let's be honest, average doesn't feel meaningful. Average doesn't spark joy or pride. So the internal narrative shifts. The thought that should be, wow, I did something, I'm proud of myself, becomes, oh, it's not enough. Look at what they did. It's a subtle but devastating shift. Your achievement isn't the problem. The effort wasn't wasted. The problem is that your reference point was stolen and replaced with an impossible, unrealistic standard. You're no longer running your own race. You're running in a phantom race against thousands of other runners, and you can only see the ones who are way ahead. This constant comparison is like a tax on your happiness, automatically deducted from every single one of your achievements. Let's be clear about one thing. The algorithm doesn't care about your well-being. It's not designed to celebrate your progress. The algorithm is designed for one purpose: to keep your attention. And what holds attention better than anything? Novelty and aspiration. What's next? What's bigger? What's better? What's more impressive? So the moment you might pause to feel good, the algorithm senses that stillness and immediately serves you something to break it. It shows you the next level. Your attention is hijacked, forced to skip from your own personal moment to someone else's peak performance, their highlight reel. And that single jump, that tiny mindless scroll, interrupts something absolutely critical for our mental health: recognition, self-recognition. The ability to look at your own work and say, I did that. Because genuine recognition requires a moment of stillness. It requires you to be present. But stillness is the enemy of the attention economy. Stillness is a void that the algorithm rushes to fill. So we are constantly pulled away from our own lives, our own accomplishments, and into a stream of content that makes us feel like we are behind. It's a system that actively prevents us from consolidating our gains, from letting our successes build our confidence. We are losing the quiet moments where pride is born. When you consistently don't feel proud of yourself, when achievement after achievement lands with a dull thud, something inside you starts to erode. It's not your ability. You're still capable. What erodes is your relationship with your own effort. You start to unconsciously build a narrative that says, nothing I do really matters, or no matter what I do, I'm just not doing enough. And you believe it even when the objective evidence says the exact opposite. This happens because the human brain thrives on reinforcement. When we do something difficult and then feel a positive emotion, our brain releases chemicals that tell us, that was good, let's do that again. That feeling is the reward. But without that moment of closure, without that feeling of satisfaction, there is no reinforcement. You're putting in all the effort without getting any of the psychological reward. And when that happens over and over again, your motivation becomes unstable. It starts to feel fragile. Why would you keep pushing yourself if there's no payoff at the end? This isn't just about feeling good. It's about survival. Without reinforcement, we lose the will to strive. We burn out, not because the work is too hard, but because the work no longer feels meaningful. So how do we fix this? It doesn't require a massive life overhaul. It starts with a small, intentional shift. Try this. The next time you complete something, anything, big or small, I want you to consciously resist the urge to move on. Don't immediately check your email. Don't open a new tab. Don't pick up your phone. Just pause, even if it's only for 60 seconds. Create a deliberate space of stillness. And in that pause, ask yourself one simple question. What did I actually do here? Don't ask what's next. Don't analyze what's missing or what could have been better. Focus only on what is done. What task is now complete because of your effort? Acknowledge the line that has been crossed. You are on one side of it, and now, because of your actions, you are on the other. Let that fact register. I'll be honest, this will feel unnatural at first. It might even feel uncomfortable or awkward. Your mind, trained for constant motion, will try to pull you forward. It will scream, "What's next?" We're wasting time, but you have to hold that space. You have to stay there, because that simple, intentional pause is how you begin to rebuild the connection that has been broken. That pause is an act of defiance against the endless stream of next. And in that small act of defiance, you rebuild something fundamental: self-recognition. You teach your brain, 1 minute at a time, that your effort matters. Ultimately, we have to face a hard truth. You don't feel proud of yourself, not because you haven't done enough, and not because your achievements are meaningless. You don't feel proud because you don't stay with what you've done. You move too quickly. You compare too soon. You shift your attention before the feeling of accomplishment has a chance to land. The algorithm, the culture of what's next, they didn't take your sense of pride away from you. They simply offered you an alternative, an endless stream of distraction and comparison. And we accepted it. We chose to scroll over the stillness. And every single time you skip your own moment of reflection to see what someone else is doing, you are teaching your own mind a powerful lesson. You're teaching it, what I just did, this doesn't matter, as much as what's out there. If you want that feeling to change, the solution isn't to chase more achievement. You don't need a bigger goal or a more impressive outcome. You need more notice. You need to practice the skill of noticing your own life, your own progress. Awareness isn't always about comfort. Sometimes it's about responsibility. It's taking responsibility for celebrating your own wins, no matter how small. It's about reclaiming your attention and choosing to place it on your own effort. The power to feel proud is already within you. You just have to decide to stay long enough to feel it. Thank you for watching. If this resonated with you, consider subscribing for more content on building a more intentional life. See you in the next one.